Adam, that was a real battling performance, but end of a good week.
Yeah, very good week. I think we've had 2 really tough away games, and then facing someone, one of the top teams in the league today. Obviously had a really good season so far, and we're in a strong position, so we knew it'd be a tough game. But like I've said over the last couple of weeks, the focus has been on us, and I thought the boys, again, to a man today, we battled, we did the basics, we did the ugly stuff, and we did what that game demanded today. So all credit to the boys.
Some top performances. I thought Riley Reynolds in midfield and your 2 centre-backs stood up really well, but everyone played their part.
Yeah, it's been, I think Meeks and Paul were outstanding at the back. I think Meeks came on Tuesday in place of Tunney's injury, who we missed today through his injury. I thought them 2 were exceptional Tuesday and carried it on today. I'm just over the moon for Riley. He's waited really patient for his chance. He's a lot like me in terms of he's very strong in his faith. He's a big believer in God and the work that God does in his life. And we've spent a lot of time praying with each other, even when he's not in the team. So he knew that these moments would come, and he's getting the benefits from it now. His attitude has been top drawer, and he's one of the players that's just a pain in the backside, isn't he, for the opposition? He don't stop, and where he gets his energy from is unbelievable. But for his mindset, for a young man, it's top drawer, and I'm just really happy for him.
You can see his confidence growing. He had a couple of shots in the first half and then showed composure with a goal.
Yeah, and I think that's what we've been saying to the players for a long time, haven't we? Like, we've been trying to free them up and get them to show the potential they've got, and I think having the 2 away games has helped them to get into that mode. And then we brought it back here today, and I thought every single one of them expressed themselves. It was never going to be a beautiful picture of a football game today. We probably didn't want it to be, if I'm being honest with you. I think we were playing in a certain mode at the minute, which is taking risk out of it and getting the best out of certain people, and Riley falls into that category. So you see, once he gets his goal, he starts enjoying himself, and I thought there was a few of them out there today that enjoyed playing, which we've been trying to fix for a while, so it was nice to see.
Paul Cullen-Bay's been here a week now, and he's made a real difference. He's added something to the side.
Man, it's that simple. He's a man. He's got a great mentality. He's a little bit old school in terms of, we come off the pitch on Tuesday night and he wasn't happy with his own performance, but he was very vocal about it. He was over the moon with how we, as a team, we defended the set pieces in the dying part of the game. So that shows his mentality. He loves clean sheets, and fair play to him. He's come in, new team, away from home, and he's shown a level of performance that we've needed. And I think it's brought other people around him together as well in terms of that. So some big performances today, some really big performances, because again, when you're facing a team, I think they were 4th in the league before the game, 5th, that they're always going to at some point have opportunities and put you under a little bit of stress. But when they did, in the last 10 minutes, we coped with it, and our big players, when they had to, come to the forefront.
And good to see that you more than held your own, didn't concede, won the game against what is a typical National League North side, very solid, looking to hit on the break, but looking to soak up pressure. Yeah,
I think, look, they've conceded a few goals in the last 2 games, but before that, I think it was 7 games they went unbeaten on the run. They've had a really good run, and like I said before, they're in that position for a reason. They've got one of the best centre forwards at this level, I believe, and they're always in and around it fighting for it. So at the end of the day, this was my remit this season, was to get us into the top 7, and these are the games you've got to win if you want to be there. These are the games against playoff rivals. A team similar to us that wants to achieve that position, you got to compete and beat them. So today it went our way, but again, like I said on Tuesday, I don't get too low when I'm getting abused and we're losing, and I won't get too high when we win a game.
Thank you.
You've touched on how obviously Spennymoor were always going to, and did have a spell towards the end. I'm just thinking, compared to some of the previous home games, the defending was done in, it seemed, a more assured way. It didn't feel as uncertain there. I mean, you mentioned Paul Cullen-Bay and the effect he's had. There'll be a number of reasons for that, I suppose, but it must have pleased you to see a little bit more composure.
Yeah, and I think, look, some of it comes through learning. I think we we've mentioned it previous in the season. We're a young team. I forget how young Joe Folks is because he doesn't play like a young player, but he's a young player. Reece has not took any credit since he's come in, and I thought he's outstanding again today. He's a baby. Owen's come in and been absolutely outstanding. Meeks, people forget how young Meeks is because he's played a lot of games. He's only a baby. So I think in the moments, in the previous moments we've been in them situations, that there's been a lot more nerves, that there's been a lot more shaky decisions, shall I say. But I said it sometime this week, that there's been a shift in the mentality in the group, and the leaders are stepping forward. The boys that need to dominate the changing room have been dominating the changing room, and then I think that helps the young boys to be leaders in their own right. I thought Amika today was unbelievable. Didn't lose a header against one of the best centre forwards in the league, and when it comes to the end, them set plays, you need that reassurance. Look, every single one of us players and staff, we're all at this level for a reason, so we're all at some point going to make mistakes. But I really feel like the boys have learned from the situations we've been in. And was it a stressful moment in the last 10 minutes? Of course it was. You're holding on to a 1-0 lead again. But I thought there was a lot more composure in our defending at the end, and that was good to see, because we lost Tunney to injury, we've lost Digger to injury over the last couple of games. They've been really important to us. So the boys that went in were exceptional.
Obviously a free-ish week until Alverton next week. You mentioned Digger and Tony. It's a blow to lose them. Are you hopeful they might not be too long term?
We're not sure. They're not looking great at the minute, if I'm being totally honest. And I think the injuries we've had have been real big blows, because it's not like the little muscle injuries that all the ones we've had have been longer term ones, which has been a kick in the things. But one thing we have got in place, and it's a credit to Dean and the analysis guys, is we have a list ready to go if we do have these longer term injuries. And fortunately the chairman's backed us in terms of if we've had to replace people, we've moved quite quickly in the loan market. So we've always got options if we feel like we need to strengthen, and if we do lose people a little bit longer term, that's something we will look at.